First there was sickness, the S wasn't silent. Then there was sinews, and the G, it wasn't silent either, it's sickness. Signals. Sickness. First it was sickness. Before that, it was sickness. Okay, here's how it goes. Our favorite brand that we've been talking about for the last 3 episodes, Cygnus hats, are going to be sending me some very cool samples, and I'm excited to see it. It's a really cool luxury brand. They're a serious brand, custom brand, and very creative. Sort of a very fashionable, creative company. When you think of, European designers, that kind of stuff. So I was right. The last time I was actually right. In that part of Spain, they do pronounce it Sines, something like that. Probably not perfect. It's like Enye, okay? They do pronounce it, the name, in this part of the world. But most people are just pronouncing it sickness. So it's kind of like sickness, but I guess the real pronunciation is Sines, something like that. But I'm not going to try to have an authentic Spanish accent. It's going to come off sounding very bad. But I'm just excited to see these samples, Now that we got the name right, it's funny, I was speaking to somebody from the company, and he even said, wait a minute, I've been with this company for how many decades now, and even I wasn't pronouncing it right. But anyway, it's kind of like a hard G, sickness. But it's not sickness, it's more like Cygnus. So, Cygnus Hats is going to be sending me a lot of samples, interesting stuff. I'm going to be showing each one of you guys every hat individually, and we're going to do a review for each one. And that's the new thing I want to start doing here, is hat reviews. We've done hat store reviews, I've done shootouts where I've compared hats and things like that. But I want to do some serious hat reviews where we really tear a hat apart. We're going to do everything to this hat. We're going to give it the business. So we'll see if these hats pass all the tests. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to steam them, see how they react to steam. We're going to flip the brims. We're going to snap the brims. We're going to wear them. We're going to see how they feel, everything. I want you guys to actually help me review these hats. To be honest, I think as the owner of a hat company, they would probably really like to hear that kind of stuff. Even if there's negatives, positives, whatever there is. I would think that a hat manufacturer would be very happy to hear feedback from people. And of course, you're not able to touch the hats. You can't see them. But, you know, I can help you with that a little bit. I can take hats off and I could, you know, show you how they feel, bang them, bend them. I do that a lot. I always slapped my hats for years, or 30 years I slapped my hats. And I started slapping hats on video like maybe about 11, 12 years ago. And I got a few complaints. It was really weird. A couple of guys said, I would never shop there with a man such as you dressed in a t-shirt that slaps his merchandise. No, I don't know why I'm speaking into British. But anyway, I guess the enemy, you ever notice in all American films, the enemy always has a European accent. It's either British or German or Russian or something. It's always like, you know, oh, Klaus, like Die Hard. And this, it's kind of like an American tradition. And whenever they have a villain in the movie, they have to give him an accent. It's kind of weird. Then there was a while, like in the 80s, the 90s, everybody had like a Mid-Eastern accent. And everybody was like, oh, Akbar, and blah, blah, blah. And then it became a little too hot to sort of kid around about that stuff, and people stopped doing it. So I think they went back to European accents again. But give me a second. I want to show you guys something. What I want to do is show you guys a couple of interesting hats. What was the hat I wanted to show you? Where the heck is it? Oh. This is real nice. This is the Cuenca. Cuenca Panama. Cuencas are a little different. They're not Monticristis. Monticristi, remember, is just a village. It's just a city. Just because something is a Monticristi does not mean it's special or expensive. That's the big trap online, guys, okay? You're going to see people that fall for this all the time, okay? Monticristi means nothing. It's just a city. It's like saying Brooklyn, okay? Monticristi Fino quality is a little different, okay? When it's a Fino, it doesn't have this welt. Basically, all hats are made the same way with a big capeline or whatever they call them, a big body, okay? And they cut the brim, they fold it over, and then they hem it. They sew it so that all the little straws don't unravel. They sew it shut. But with a Monticristi Fino, when it gets to the end, the second weaver will weave it back right into itself. So there's no edge at all. There's nothing here. It just goes back right into itself. He weaves it back, and it's just sort of like weaved back into infinity. It's amazing. So when you see that edge, you know you have something special. Those edges don't have to be necessarily super expensive. There are Monticristi Finos that are not very, very fine. There are. And there are ones that are not perfectly round. The shapes are a little. So all these things equal quality. The shape has to be nice and round. No weird flaws in the color. You know, some people like little pink streaks and colors in it. Other people like a really even cream color. But as they get finer, they get more expensive. But there's other things too, like you have to have a good round shape and stuff like that. But yeah, you'll see Finos that are not super expensive too. They've got them for, you know, a couple $100 or whatever. But then they go up more, you know, by the lines and this and that. But this is not a Fino. This is a Cuenca. The Cuencas are a little different. They're much spongier. Look at this. It's actually elastic. So this hat, instead of being crunchy like the Panamas you're used to for buying, you know, like $200 Panamas, $300, you know, they're kind of like, you squeeze them here. Not this. This is very open, and look at this. Oh, Kevin, what are you doing? Oh, no, don't do it, Kevin. So these are super soft. They have a spongy quality to them. You can actually... You can steam this hat lower by pushing it down. Not that much, but you can actually steam them higher by stretching them and steaming it like that and holding it while it dries. And you could actually lower the crown by compressing it just a little bit. So, because there's like an elasticity to this weave. And I've done that before. So as this hat gets softer and you own it for a few years, you'll be able to roll this and put it in your pocket. This is just a really soft. This is an Italian, you know, they're woven in Ecuador in Cuenca. Then they go over to Italy, where Tessie makes these. Tessie makes the Panamas, all the straws for Borsalino. You know, they always have. So you'll find this same hat here with the Tessie name in silver, or with the Borsalino name in gold. It'll be exactly the same model from the same Tessie factory, but they just put a different little cross piece on there. They have ones that are silk screen Borsalino, ones that are silk screen Tessie. Same exact hat. Borsalino version costs more because you have that name on it and the tag. That's it. So a lot of smart store owners are buying the Tessie versions so they could sell them for, you know, whatever, $350 instead of, you know, $475 or whatever, you know, the Borsalino version costs. So as far as Borsalino quality goes with straws, there's been no difference and no change. Tessie has always made their straws and they haven't stopped. So this is very fine, and not only is it fine, it's not crunchy and dry. It's really soft. So yeah, this is called extra large. Gotta say, I'm a 7 3/8, and it fits me really well. A 7 1/2 could wear this. Yeah, obviously it's touching my ears. It's a little big. I like my hats big though. Since it's extra large, it's a 7 1/2. The other thing about it, it's extremely stretchy. So this will probably fit a few sizes from 3/8 to maybe 5/8. I'm going to say 3/8 to a half is more realistic. If I wanted to put this in somebody who's a 5/8, there would have to be some work done on it, you know. But look how fine it is, guys. You could barely even see the weave, right? It looks like almost like a satin, like it's solid, right? This is not a Monticristi, you know. This is not a $500,000 hat. Well, nowadays it might be. These used to go for about like $350 or so, but you know, that was like 15 years ago. So prices have gone up. Look how fine it is. I have some very, very, very special Cuencas that are coming in. A colleague of mine who's in the industry has been saving a bunch of these. You know, they're boxed and they're properly stored. He's been saving some very special ones. You know about Monticristi Finos and Super Finos. The thing about Finos are, as the weave gets tighter and tighter, it completely blocks the light. But what else does it block? It blocks the air. Okay, they get so tight that they actually suck air. You could put it on a glass showcase and then pick it up and it goes like that. That's what a Super Fino, a really good Fino, is like. Some people like them. I personally do not. I don't like a hat that's so tight in the weave that it doesn't breathe. I don't get it. I don't get paying, you know, $1,200, $1,500 for something that's hotter than a $200 hat or a $500 hat. For me, yes, fine is good, but there's got to be something, you know. The ones that are like those $3,000 hats, they're nice, they're gorgeous. I'm not saying I wouldn't like one, but they're hot. They're very hot. They seal. Some of them are watertight. You could use them for bowls and stuff. They're that tight, the weaves. They don't breathe as much. Okay, of course the material is porous, you know, just like cotton is porous or something. But yeah, the weave gets very tight. It gets a little hotter. It gets a little heavier, and there's less airflow. For me, the Cuenca is a good compromise. It's very, very soft and it's very, very fine, as you can see, but it's not so fine that it's like a piece of cardboard, you know. There's no breathing at all. I can appreciate the craft of Monticristi Finos, but for me, if I'm buying something like a Super Fino, I would prefer to have something with an open weave, you know, like those really rare Delgados I showed you with the doily kind of work, the geometric work. Those are very, very fine, but obviously there's a lot of, there's some open work there. Oh, I'll show you those. Hold on, guys. So these are much finer. See if we can get some light behind them. Okay, so obviously there's a lot of airflow here. This is a quite extraordinary hat. You know, I've worked in one of the best hat shops in the country for 3 decades, and I saw what they had there. There was only one other hat of this quality, and it went to somebody, a personal hat. They kept it. I have the other 2. There was actually another one that was sold to a customer many years ago. A guy in Germany, kind of a wealthy guy, he used to buy lots of Monticristis and Borsalinos from us and stuff. So you can see the open work here. Okay. Let me show you the other one now. You see the Delgado in there? I don't think you can see the DG, can you? Do you see the script DG? That's a Delgado. There's a very famous Panama hat book. I forgot what it's called. Panama, A History of something, something. And they talk all about Mr. Delgado in there. You know, he was like in his 80s or something, you know, way back when this book was written in like 85 or 92 or something. So I'm almost positive he's not around now. But this man was the master. There was like, you know, 2 or 3 of these guys, and he was the best of the best. Anything with a DG on it, instead of going for, you know, like, you know, 1,200, would go for 3,000 just because it said Delgado on it. That's the other one. Different. We actually had one with feathers too. I think one of my colleagues took the one with the feathers. So the side, the geometric pattern on the side had little feathers, you know, like pictures of them carved in there. That was pretty cool. See the fineness of this? Kind of hard to see. This is something like a 40 or 40 line, maybe more. I don't know. I honestly have not counted it. I'm not really into that. One of them has a tiny flaw in it, like a little crack somewhere, but it's not even really a crack. It's almost like slightly bent. The other one is flawless. Yeah, obviously you can't see it. It's not like a big thing. It's kind of like, you know, like somebody kind of bent it a little bit. So yeah, we've got these 2 guys. These are Monticristis. You could see the edge. You see the edge of it? There's nothing there. No seam, no welt. Okay. Sorry about that, lights. So, let's talk a little bit about this, about Panamas and stuff. Panama hats are, there's something that they come from Ecuador. There's a plant called the toquilla plant. It's like a, I don't know how you would call it, like something like, looks like a yucca or something like one of these kind of plants. They split it, they dry it, they do a lot of different things, and they bleach it out, and there's a lot of processes before they even begin weaving these hats. And the weavers that used to do this, that were really, really good at it, are gone now. You know, and some of their daughters and sons took over, but they're not, you know, the legends. You know, the people used to come into JJ's, you know, they stopped a long, long time ago, but they would come in from Monticristi, Ecuador. They would make a little pilgrimage to the USA maybe, you know, once every couple of years, every few years, and, you know, she would come in with a stack of just hat bodies, and every single one was like, you know, some of them will like sell for maybe $500, you know, little cheaper ones. Other ones were like $700, you know, $800,000 hats. And there was a few that were just really, really rare. And I wound up buying a couple of those bodies. So I'm going to definitely do something with these in the next month or two. I'm probably going to wait till after the holidays, but maybe not. I might send them out now. But if anybody thinks they might be interested in having a custom-made Monticristi Fino with the Delgado body, obviously I think it's better if you chose the one that was perfect. There's one that's got a little, like a line on it. I don't even know if it's considered damaged or not, but I would probably, you know, suggest going with the one that looks more 100% perfect. And we can discuss it. You can tell me what kind of shape you'd like. You know, obviously you can do a teardrop, you could do a center crease. Sometimes they do an optimo shape. Other times a plantation is really nice. It's kind of like a teardrop, a low teardrop with a pencil curl. That's a really nice shape. Plantation always looks really special and expensive. But what you do is, you know, whoever we send the hats to, if I send them to Mr. Gary White up in Buffalo, if I send them to Graham up in Chicago, there are not many people that can be trusted with work like this. There's exactly like, you know, maybe 2 or 3 people, you know, you could send them to that know how to block them, you know, the proper way, the traditional ways, and who will be able to take a look at a particular body, maybe an open weave body, like and he'll say, well, look, I don't recommend doing an optimo with that because maybe the little ridge in the optimo will get in the way of the geometric thing in a bad way. You know, he'll tell you, he'll suggest, well, I suggest going for this shape and that shape. With Finos, you don't cut the brims. You know, you just don't do it. You know, nobody wants to put a bound edge on a Monticristi Super Fino like that, a Delgado. You leave the brim as is, and you know, you can have a snap brim put in it, or a pencil curl if you prefer. You know, I always like a black band, but you could do whatever you want. You know, any kind of band, any kind of bow, whatever you'd like. And we'll finish a hat for you, and you could have probably one of the most priceless, rarest Panamas in existence right now. It's very, very special. I'm almost afraid to send it to somebody. That's, you know, I feel like I have to drive them up. I don't feel like I can mail these. You know, if something happened, that's like a piece of history gone. So, you know, you could talk to me about that, and we can get that done for you. Thank you, everybody who sent in their second KTG hat payment. Everybody gave a deposit of $137.50, and that basically reserved your hat. Now, Jared from McGill, who's on the ball, he's sending me updates, he's sending me pictures and all kinds of stuff. He's basically trying to get this done before all the hat companies take vacations. Everybody in the hat industry kind of takes a little vacation after January 1st. Like right after the holidays, they shut down for a couple of weeks. You can't order any hats. It's like that, you know. They're basically working all the time, all the holidays, so they take this one time off. So he's hoping to try to get our orders before then, before they go away. And I know they're hustling now. So if you guys want to complete your order, you can. You can PayPal me the rest, and, you know, I'll send you receipts. We got 2 people who sent today. Thank you very much. E-receipts are coming. I just walked in the door. The second I walked in the door, I strapped on my guitar, put on my hat and stuff, and you know, put all my stuff down. And then somebody gave me a call. He was like, "Can you talk?" You know, I said, "Give me a minute." You know, but you know, times. I talk with my hands a lot. Sorry. Time's a little tight with me these days. Like every day, I have something up. I have to do this or that or that. You know, I have somebody coming on Saturday to bring me 18 hats. You know, Sunday and Saturday, I kind of like try to spend some time with my family and stuff those days. Try to take at least one day off, you know, Sundays for my family and for my son. And if you guys want, you can send your second deposit in. What that will basically do is just, you know, you'll be paid in full. And you know, the sooner we get everything paid, the better. Obviously, it just has to come before the hats are delivered. Let's figure, I don't know when they'll be delivered. They might come before Christmas. You know, maybe he's going to call me in 3 days and say, hey, Kev, you know, we're just about finished. I don't know. I was just basically told that we're going to try to get them done by Christmas or by, you know, by the New Year's, but we can't promise. So, yeah, you can send in your second payment if you want. The only thing I'll say is don't wait to the very, very last minute, because that might postpone you getting your hat a few days later, something like that. But, you know, other than that, anytime between now and, you know, the end of the year, or now and Christmas is fine. Probably earlier is better than later, just in case I get the call and he says, hey, Kev, the hats are already in 2 days or something like that. I don't want to start hustling to, you know, get payments and then, like, you know. So, you know, if you feel like it, you feel like, you know, you're financially ready to do it, you know, send the second payment when you want. It doesn't have to be this week. It could be next week, could be anytime in the near future. And I will send you that e-receipt. You'll get your KTG hat, and what everybody has to do is take really cool pictures wearing their first KTG hats from my new hat company. Yeah, yeah. I get a hat company, guys, right? Come on, you know. All right, you know, we're starting, you know, with this now, but oh boy, there's some really cool kiosks outside JJ Hat Center. I just saw there's this new thing called Koreatown pop-up shops. And they just opened these really nice pop-up shops, like all the way going around the corner of 32nd and 5th. There's a couple of tourist shops. There's a really nice Mexican restaurant where they're like frying up meat for tacos and like arepas, and they have, like, you know, all that cool stuff with the pineapple there and everything. Like, it's really cool. And I was talking to the guys today, and they said that the kiosk a couple of shops down from him is free. That I think Jimmy Choo's rented it for the holidays, but they never showed up, or, you know, they never paid the rent. So yeah, maybe I'll rent a kiosk for 2 weeks. That would be cool, right? Could sell my Midori knits to the cold people out there, sell some vintage hats to customers right by JJ Hat Center's corner. Wouldn't that be cool? It would be great if I could be next to that Mexican restaurant. Man, I had the best arepa today. I don't know if anybody, you know, out there likes them, but it was so good. He just fried it up right in front of me there, and it was just so homemade tasting. It was great. Oh, check this out. This is Wes's painting. I should show you this, guys. Yeah, that's me chilling out on the beach with my guitar and my green hat. Wes made this for me. It was really cool. Somehow the postage fell off of it, and the postman told me I had to pay for, you know, postage when it came, but I didn't care. It was a really nice gesture. I made the lettering on there. I have to say, he's not responsible for that. The lettering kind of sucks, I know. I wanted it to be like the opening for my show and stuff, but yeah, maybe I could fix those letters. He made the painting and I put the lettering on there, and he's like, go for it, man, just do it. I think I kind of defaced it. But yeah, this is on a lot of my old videos. I just wanted to show, this is Wes. There's his signature, 6X Wes. He's kind of like the Clown Prince, the comic relief of our Facebook group. Anybody who hasn't joined Hats and Guitars Facebook group, I gotta tell you, it's fun. It's really fun. I have never belonged to any of those forum things before, or Facebook groups. This one is really cool. I've met a lot of great people. There's just so many nice people. Like Malcolm has been over to my spot a couple of times. You know, Scott, just lots of cool guys. Sam, and David, I don't want to leave anybody out, but I've met so many cool people through this group. Dan over in, what does he call it? The ass end of the world. He's in New Zealand. His shout out. Steve up in England, who gives me really good British chocolate. Sending me chocolate is a plus. Always sending me chocolate is a good thing. Not such a good thing, but chocolate, it's good. Anyway, I just want to say, I don't know what the heck I'm going to say. But yeah, KTG hats are running really good. We're going to start doing our second run of KTG hats. Now that I've got everything set up for my private label, I've got shipping, I've got hat boxes, I've got hat pins, I've got, you know, everything, logos. I've got my embroidered stickers for inside the crowns with my logo and gold thread. I've got, you know, linings. I've got global shipping. I've got shipping for anywhere in the world. So, you know, people who can't get fedoras through Stetson or American hat shops because they don't sell internationally. Even McGill doesn't ship internationally, but they're going to ship the KTG hats internationally for me and for you guys, which I thought was really nice. McGill hats in Canada is just, they've been fantastic. It's been like working with friends. There's been absolutely zero stress, and they've helped me with everything, you know, with the all the financial things. You know, they've really been just very, very cool to me. And I'd like to give a good shout out to this amazing Canadian company called McGill Hats. Probably one of the last custom hatters left where you can just go as a retailer and order anything. You can say, I want that crown with this color and that kind of binding, and I want that brim, and give me a back bow and a wind cord. And they'll make it, and they'll put your artwork inside or whatever. It's a custom hatter like in the old days, like the way Biltmore used to do and everybody else used to. Cygnus is like that too. Cygnus will actually do that too. But I didn't really know that until very recently. So maybe in the future, KTG hats can try a run with Cygnus. We'll see how those, you know, look. That would be exciting too, wouldn't it? But the next run number 2, is going to be very interesting. We're going to do 3 styles, okay? You guys are going to design a style from the bottom up. Everybody in the group, everybody who wants to get involved. If you want to order the hats, you let me know through the comments in the videos. You let me know in the Facebook group, and we're going to vote on everything. We're going to say, what kind of crown should we do? If everybody chooses teardrop, we're going to say, what kind of brim length do we want? Do we want a bound edge, a raw edge, or a welted edge? Do we want big binding? Do we want skinny binding, like mine here? That's, you know, thin binding. Do we want big, wide, nostalgic binding, like the Sting, you know, like a 1/2 inch wide? Do we want a big, thick ribbon? Do we want a bow on the side? Or how about a back bow? All of those things. How about, you know, whatever, you know, we could have gray binding and purple ribbon here with a furry black felt, anything. The combinations are limitless. So everybody's going to vote on them. It's going to be a revolutionary thing. We're going to collectively design these hats together, okay? You guys are going to vote on them. If you don't like what everybody voted, it's okay. You don't have to order it, but there'll be 3 styles, 3 different colorways, okay? So let's say we're doing ash gray with ice blue trim, okay? Well, you can take that color combination and do it in any of those 3 hats. This might be one style, the Sky Piece 1. Sky Piece 2 might be something like a teardrop with a big binding, like a nostalgic 1930s the Sting hat. The third one might be a Verdi, like a what do you call it? A 3-inch brim Madrid style. So, you know, high crown, wide bands, 1.5 inch band, high crown, 3-inch brim, raw edge, that kind of Verdi-ish looking hat. If we want to make those 3 styles, you guys can pick and choose the colors between them and create your own styles. I think it's really fun, and I'm super excited for the next run. We're going to start polling people. Polling. Sorry. I always love that word. We're going to start polling people soon. And we're going to ask them what they want to do for the next hats. And basically, we are going to create our dream hats. I mean, like if you always wanted a 3-inch brim Verdi in lavender and that hat was impossible to get, we'll make that hat. We're going to make that dream hat come true. Maybe you want that, you know, that hat off of Harlem Nights that you saw one time from some crazy 1930s movie, which was just so slick and you never saw anything like it before. We can make that hat. It's all up to us coming up with interesting and exciting ideas and then just, you know, collectively working together to create something that's great. And I'm like that. You know, I've been in bands before where people, you know, make decisions, and if whoever comes up with the hippest decision, we go with it, you know. You come up with a great idea, we'll put it on the board, and everything's going to be like multiple choice, okay? And whoever gets the most votes, a teardrop or this color or that, we're going to go like that by, you know, process of elimination. Honk your horn, why don't you, huh? Anyway, it's getting late. I've talked about a lot. We talked about PANAMAS. We talked about KTG hats and stuff. The next time I want to do some steaming. I want to get back to some good steaming lessons. And I want to show you guys a few things. You know, a few tricks and tricks of the trade and this and that. I want to show you how to lower your crown yourself. People are having trouble with that technique, with basically lowering this, you know, just cutting that part off by sort of tucking it into itself, okay? I want to show that again, although I've showed it probably 3 or 4 times. I want to show a few simple moves that you guys can do by yourself, like turning a center crease into a teardrop on your head. It's kind of like a really basic thing, like that. You know, like everybody who works in hat stores or in the hat industry can make a teardrop, you know, without looking. It's a matter of not slanting it too much, you know, but that's something I want to teach you guys too. I want to show you all these little tricks. I want to show you how to deuce trace your hat, which is not really that hard either. The deuce trace is very easily done. It's done 2 different ways. You could just pick up this and push it down, or you could do the old compass method where you put a finger here and you roll around like that. Dun, dun. The old deuce trace. Ace deuce tray. Okay. I'm actually very excited today. I just started realizing that pretty soon these hats are going to be coming through. And I'm going to see pictures of all you guys wearing your hats, your green hats, your gray hats. And I'm going to have one too, a new green hat. Kind of exciting. So, anyway, let's call it Cygnus for now on. Even though in Spain they say Cygnus, Cygnus. See, I can't pronounce it correctly. I'm not a native. But we're going to call it Cygnus. Just the old, plain, simple S-I-G-N-E-S, Cygnus. I heard it's pronounced a little bit more Cygnus, like a hard G, Cygnus. Somewhere between Cygnus and sickness, like a Cygnus. So let's try to get it right, everybody, okay? Let's work on that, getting Cygnus. Let's get it right, okay? Everybody, I love all of you. I'm very happy today. I think it's getting closer to KTG hat time, and I actually didn't realize that I was going to get excited about it, but I'm kind of like not a bubbly guy, but yeah, somebody told me today, like, yeah, I can't wait to wear my new hats. I got to take pictures. And I said, wait a minute. Yeah, they're coming soon. It's exciting for me. I just think it's really cool. The next time we're going to do probably 3 models in 3 different color choices. Okay. And then we're going to expand. Run number 3, we're going to do more than that. We'll do maybe 4 or 5 styles, and we're going to repeat the old styles too. If you want this hat, you can get that one. So we'll do sky piece 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to hopefully try to work something out really cool where every run we do, run number 1 has a kind of a quotation inside, like a cool little saying, like nothing is truer than truth. And then the next time we do it, it's going to say something different. So every hat will have a new cool little saying, like maybe one of them will say, you touch the hat, I break a you face, or something like that. Yeah? I don't know. Think of some clever sayings, nothing too unfunny. It should be cool, you know. If somebody looks inside your hat and they're like, oh yeah, that's cool. But anyway, I'll see you guys, okay? Don't go anywhere because I'm going to be back. I promise, okay? Signas. 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 We're scared. Hey guys, our Hats and Guitars Facebook group is really thriving. There's a lot of really cool guys and we're learning a lot of stuff, finding some really cool hats and bargains and stuff. And my vintage inventory is there too. So if you're interested in buying vintage hats from me, they're almost all perfect and brand new condition, but old hats from the 40s, 50s, 30s, 60s, and really nice stuff. So just join the Facebook group Hats and Guitars. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.